Kobe Sportswear, Canadian owned and manufacturer of high quality sports apparel and sold locally by Nova Trophy. Now located in Bears Lake and celebrating 40 years of service. Stop by today to get your team dressed in Kobe's best.
Mooseheads, who I don't know if the word dominated, but during the regular season they had a lot of success against the Islanders. How do you hope to have some success here in this series?
Well, I think what we did learn out of those games is that we have to play our style. We can't be pulled into the fact trying to play a skill game against a highly skilled Halifax club. And when we kept it close to the vest, tight checking, low scoring, we're in the games. If it gets opened up wide, recipe for disaster. So that's going to be the challenge. I think it's two kind of contrasting styles here, and who can stick with their game plan the longest.
Tell me about, I want to talk about two forwards, two high-profile Moosehead forwards. Filip, who was just named the best pro prospect at the Gold Puck Awards, and Benoit Olivier Groulx. But let's start with Zadina. How do you limit his chances? What do you have to do in order to try to limit his chances?
Well, for me, the great players, and Zadina's definitely in that category, they capitalize on mistakes better than most players. So the number one element is you have to manage the puck when he's on the ice. You can't give them any free looks. He's going to get his looks on his talent alone. You have to try to minimize that. So we've talked a lot just about five-man awareness. I think gone are the days when you shadow a player. I don't think that happens anymore, but I think there has to be five-man awareness. And again, you can't give him any free looks. He's going to get enough, but if you start turning pucks over and don't play the right way when he's on the ice, then he'll do you some damage. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We'll probably approach it with 2 or 3 different lines and a couple different D combination against him.
I just spoke with Hunter Drew, who talked about needing to be physical, needing to have a physical presence. Is that something you're asking of him?
Well, you know what? Hunter's a guy that has to play that way all the time. I think the one misnomer you have when trying to shut down a guy like Zadina is that you have to be overly physical. I'm the opposite. I don't think you have to be. I think you have to take away his time and his space, but I think it's more doing it with intelligence than with brawn, because the good players will suck you in. As soon as you get in tight, they're going to make a move. And I think with him, if you can take away his stick and take away his stick opportunities, that to me is way more important than trying to pound him.
On to Benoit Olivier Groulx, another projected first rounder. Different player. How do you try to limit his chance?
Well, Benoit is a complete different player. For those of my ilk, he reminds me of a Brian Trottier, and I know I'm going back in the annals now, but that's the way this kid plays. He plays hard and 200-foot hockey that we hear all that cliche now, but he does. So again, I think you have to go head-to-head with him. You have to match his compete level, and that's a task in itself, because one of his biggest attributes in my eyes is that compete level. So you have to make sure that every square inch is battled for, and he thrives on it, and I think a number of our players do as well.
It's Filip Zadina, who was just named the best pro prospect at the Gold Puck Awards. How do you try to limit his chances? How do you try to be effective against such a talented forward?
I mean, it's definitely not easy. He's fast and shoots the puck very well. Can't give him even half a second or he'll make a play. But I think if we just get on him quick and kind of get in his face a little bit, then I don't think he's going to like that.
Benoit Olivier Groulx, another forward. Again, he's draft eligible this year, projected to be a first-round pick. How do you deal with a forward like Groulx?
I mean, he has a little bit of an edge to his game too, but we have a lot of guys who are like that. So I think the same thing, kind of get in his face and throw him off his game a little bit.
Hunter, do you expect this to be a physical series? You just talked about getting in the face, and that's part of your game. That's how you have to play at that level. But do you expect this to be a physical series?
I mean, for us, I think so. They're obviously a little different team, built a little bit differently. But from our side, I think, yeah,